it's actually a bookish film, and I used to do these videos so much, and I don't know why I haven't done, well, I know why I haven't. COVID happened, and you know, libraries are closed right now, but of course I made sure that I got all of my library holds out the library before we close. So I have a good chunk of things that I have checked out that I have not really talked about since my last checked out video. I think I didn't watch that one, so if it has some duplicates, just forgive me. But we're just gonna go through these quickly so I can show you guys what I currently have checked out. We can go through the graphic novels, comics, and manga first, and then we can skip over to the actual books. So the first three manga that I have checked out are Dreaming Sun Volume 1, Dreaming Sun Volume 2, and Dreaming Sun Volume 3, and these are all by Ichigo Takano. I actually have read the first volume of this. It's this cute contemporary like manga about a girl who runs away from home and she ends up living with these guys. That's kind of what I got from the first volume. There hasn't been much going on just yet because I haven't read volumes 2 or 3, but I'm excited to pick these up. When I pick them up, I do not know. The next one that I have here is Geo by Gingy Ito. I hope I am saying that right. This is a horror manga. I think the only horror manga that I have ever read has been Monster, and Monster is more like of a psychological thriller. I actually have done a full like first impressions of that, and I like that in the card symbol, but I haven't really read a lot of horror manga, and this one, I think, I can't remember where I saw this one, but I thought I would check it out. And this is one I actually may end up reading sooner than later because I just got the urge to read it. It is a beautiful book, an expensive book, which is why I got it checked out from the library. I have Orange Volume 2 by Ichigo Takano, and of course I have read Volume 1, which I think I talked about in some wrap up. I still have not read the second collection, and this is about a group of friends who get the opportunity to have a do-over for something that went wrong. I won't say what because I feel like it's a spoiler, and I never like making the assumption that everybody has read something just because it's popular on BookTube. I don't like making that assumption, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But this is good. I think there's this first omnibus, a second omnibus, and like a third smaller volume, which I think is Orange Future, something like that. So if you haven't read it, I would recommend giving it a try. The first time I read it, I really liked it. The second time I read it, I didn't like it as much. So I'm interested in what my thought process is going to be going into reading this second book. So here we have the first book of Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. This is one that I plan on reading this month anyway. And this is about a former figure skater turned vlogger turned patisserie extraordinaire. And he ends up going to his university to play hockey. And it's not like the co-ed hockey back at home. There is checking, which I think is a hockey term. Somebody in the comments let me know. And there is a guy named Jack, which I'm guessing is going to be the love interest. Like I said, let me know in the comments below. I'm super excited for this one. I know a couple of you have already told me in the comments that if I liked Fence, to go ahead and check out Check Please, and this was on my TBR for June anyway. I also have Almost American Girl, which is also on my June TBR. This one is about a young girl who is born and raised in Seoul, South Korea, and ends up having to move to Alabama when she thought initially was just going to be a visit. I don't know when I'm going to start this one, but this is one that I do plan on reading this month. The next book that I have here is Hey Kiddo by Jared J. Krosowska. If I'm saying that wrong, let me know in the comment box below. But this is one book that we talked about a lot at the library. It is a graphic memoir about Jeff and how when he was in school he was asked to draw a picture of his family, and I always think that there should be some type of pretense that comes with that, some discussions, especially with younger kids, especially if their families don't look like what the stereotypical family looks like. And Jeff kind of faces that issue because his mother was an addict at the time that he was asked to do that assignment. His father was nowhere to be found. He was being raised by his grandparents, and this is his graphic memoir of what his experience was like and how it wasn't until I think he was able to get his driver's license that he was able to start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. This is one that I've been meaning to read for a while, y'all, but sometimes these memoirs are a little difficult to read for me, just emotionally they can be difficult to read. So I've been putting it off, but I think I may go ahead and pick this one up in July. All right, y'all, so I believe that this is the final, this is the final manga graphic novel comic section. And this is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, the complete manga collection by Yuro Samino. And this is about a young boy who discovers the diary of a classmate of his, and he finds out that she's dying from pancreatic cancer, and he doesn't want to be her friend, but she has a very charming personality, and I know that this is going to break my heart. Why I checked this out, I don't know, but I am excited to read it, but then not excited at the same time because I just know my heart is going to melt and fall apart. If you guys have read this, let me know what you think in the comments below. So the next book that I have is actually part of the Rick Riordan Presents line, and I have this library copy, but I'm actually going to end up buying my own physical copy, but I will still show it anyway. And I think this is one that I'm going to be reading in July, and it's Sal and Gabi Break the Universe by Carlos Hernandez. And this is about Sal and Gabi, and Sal and Gabi meet in the principal's office because Sal has gotten into a form of an altercation with Gabi's friend, and Gabi is determined to prove that Sal put a dead chicken in her friend's locker, and apparently Sal could actually conjure some things, and Gabi apparently is down for the cause. So they work together and they go on this fantastical journey. I'm super excited to pick this one. I know that I will not be reading it until next month, but either way, it's going to be such a fun ride. The next one that I have here is Clean Getaway by Nick Stone. I have been reading this for a while, y'all, and it's not that it's a bad book. I always say, like, I have such a hard time picking up physical books because of the baby, which now I don't have an excuse because she's in daycare and I'm at home, but whatever. So anyway, Clean Getaway is Nick Stone's debut middle grade novel, I believe, and it is about Scoob, who actually gets into trouble at school for doing some weird things on his computer. I don't even want to say specifically what it is, but he gets into trouble, and he was supposed to go on a trip, wasn't able to go because he gets into trouble with his dad, and then he ends up going on this adventure with his grandmother, who's actually white, and she ends up taking him on this path of monumental historical places of the civil rights movement. And there are some strange things going on with his grandmother that he's trying to figure out, and it is emotional, and I can't wait to finish it. I believe I'm 100 pages in. I know my June TBR is so packed already, but I really want to finish this one. The next one that I have here is Anna K, and this one is by Jenny Lee. So I think I've talked about this one a little bit on my channel. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's one that I want to get to soon. It is a retelling of Anna Karenina, and every time I talk about this book I get like that because I've read Anna Karenina and I really liked it, and I know how Anna Karenina finishes and how it ends. So I'm holding this book thinking, like, if this is a true retelling of Anna Karenina, I know how this book is going to end, and it's completely depressing, but oh gosh, it is a modern retelling of Anna Karenina, and it's one that I definitely need to get to really soon. The next book that I have that is on my June TBR, which you guys have already seen, is Deathless Divide by Justina Ireland. This is the second book in, I don't have it out here, I forgot all my books are they're in my bedroom, but this is the second book in the Dread Nation series, and I will be reading this one because I was not a huge fan of Dread Nation. I think I gave Dread Nation 3 stars because there were some things that I didn't enjoy about the writing that Justina did, and I had my issues with it. I have a full-length review of that one, which I'll link in the card symbol. So I told myself that I would check out the second one from the library first, just to see if it got better, and then I would think about buying a copy. But because I had such mixed emotions about the first one, I didn't want to buy the second one and then end up not enjoying it. So that's why I have this copy. The next one that I have is Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown, and this one is, from my understanding, semi-autobiographical, because the main character's name is Echo, and I believe that Echo draws a lot on their experiences, and it is infused into this book. So it has to do with Echo going from the, I think it's the east side of Cleveland to the west side of Cleveland, where it's a school that's predominantly white, and there is some conversation, I think, about what it's like going back and forth and being a part of these two polarizing communities. This is heavy in magical realism. I meant to read this one last month and I didn't get to it. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this month, but just know that it will be read in the near future. This is one that I don't see talked about a lot on BookTube, but I've seen a couple people talk about it, but I haven't seen it fully talked about a lot. And this one is Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. And this is about a main character who is HIV positive, and she is in school. She's starting to get interest in dating. She has a crush on this guy named Miles, and her name is Simone. She gets this crush on this guy named Miles. They start dating, and then she realizes that she's gonna have to eventually tell him that she's HIV positive, but she's scared about how he's going to react. But then she finds a note in her locker that I think is threatening to expose her as being HIV positive. This is one that I really need to read soon. Like soon. I came home, y'all. This is what's so crazy. I came home and I got to see all of my shelves, because when I was not home, I did not have access to as many books. So it was limiting my not being able to, or it was limiting my typical urge of wanting to read everything in the world. And now that I'm back home, I have like this huge pile of library books. I have my shelves in here. There's another shelf across the room. Then there's a shelf in my bedroom. It's just a lot of stuff. So you're going to see a lot of, I need to read this book. I need to read this book. And it's like, well, when are you actually going to read it? But I really do need to read this one. This is another one that I was hoping to read in May and I never got to it, and it is The Antidote for Everything by Kimmery Martin. And this is about two friends, Georgia and Jonah, and they work at a hospital near Charleston, South Carolina. And Georgia ends up, I believe, going overseas, and Jonah contacts her to let her know that the hospital that they were both working at has decided to fire anybody that provides any services to transgender patients. And Georgia was astonished because Jonah identifies as gay, but I don't think he has come out. So then Georgia decides to come home and try to help, but then she ends up causing trouble for the both of them. And I think that this is probably, I haven't looked at any reviews yet, but I'm really interested in the conversation surrounding the medical profession and people who identify as trans. So I wonder if this portrays that relationship accurately. So I may need to look at some reviews, but I'm really interested in reading it. And the last one that I have checked out is one that you guys have already seen, and that's Conversations in Black on Power, Politics, and Leadership by Ed Gordon. I have done a full review on this one, which I'll link up in the card symbol. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You guys know my thoughts on this. You know what this one's about, so I'm not going to talk about it, but read it. Alright, y'all, so that is it. Those are the books that I currently have checked out that I think I have not talked about yet. I have a lot more checked out over in this area, but those are ones that I have talked about before, so I don't want to create any type of repetition. So hopefully once I'm back at work, I'll be able to kind of take some stuff back and refresh what I have checked out. I don't know when that's going to be, but so I don't know when the next checkout video is going to come, but I promise you, once I am able to kind of refresh and get some new stuff in my checked out piles, I will do another one of these videos. Guys, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button. Remember, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I can't believe I'm doing 3 times a week, but it's been working and I really enjoy it. So, and this is not even the 3rd time. This video will go up as a 4th posting for a week because I have nothing else to do. So here we are with the occasional surprise 4th video. All right, y'all, all my social media links will be down in the description box below. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.